Alright, so all set up. Saadli in blue. Okay. Right, up in the small visual glitch there. Up in the top right we have TzK, who will be our red player here, competing in the top bracket to go on to fight versus JBS for the semi-finals. And the bottom right we have Saadli, who is also obviously fighting to move up and take that spot to go fight JBS. Neither really wants to drop down to lower bracket right now. It will mean facing off against the Tanner, looking like a 6 expand here from Saadli. And just, there we go, it's in the gold. The similar build at it, oh no, different build out of TzK here. TzK workers, going for a house first for the scout. So he's going to see the 6 expand, and we'll see whether he chooses to throw down some barracks and pressure it, or whether he just decides to count his losses, cancel his house and throw down and expand. The key thing, if Saadli can defend this with a well placed tower and some repairs, then he's in a great spot. Otherwise he could be in a lot of trouble with this pressure. We'll see how it goes. Sadly, sorry, TzK sees the 6 expand now, so knows what he's up against. So, yep, gonna go proxy about. Sadly looking to go poke out, see what's out there. Sadly is actually gonna go and for whatever reason scout out here, immediately sees the proxy rack. Presume you saw a worker wander off that way. Doesn't even need to scout, comes straight back, knows what this is. Doesn't even need to worry about the goals. Pulls workers to get harasses. They're not going to be enough to stop the barracks building. But he's pulling 4 here, so he's going to actually be able to take it down pretty quickly. Sadly making a small possible mistake in the background here. He's not actually continuing to build his workers, which he really should do. Either that or he's planning to throw down a tower? Yeah, okay. Tower being thrown down here. I'd have liked to have seen this off to one side maybe, reduce the surface area a bit, but it's acceptable. Then need to force his workers off, slowly work down his barracks. I look to be in a good position there. Don't think he's going to have enough workers though to really do much to this barracks. Oh, I don't know if he needs to pull these workers back here. He can still keep trying to harass the barracks down. It's going to pull back there and try and set up ready to hold against this push. And that's actually a proxy workshop follow up here from TzK. Not sure he has the money to do that on one base, but we'll see. And with this tower up and only one soldier out for TzK, is not going to be able to push this at all. I'd like to see him create a choke here, sadly that is, and sort of reduce how much pressure can be put on him, but TzK in a very sketchy position here. With a base down, 2 proxy buildings. There you go, sadly. Sadly just removing surface area off this tower, keeping this water safe while they repair, and forming a bit more of a choke. Just checks the soldiers there. Knows they can't pressure right now. Needs at least 4 soldiers to be able to take down the tower. 3 would take one down normally, but you're going to need 4 if there's any repairs going down. So, the problem is, despite this proxy, TzK is in more and more trouble the longer this goes on, due to the fact that he's an entire castle down, so it's less workers and less gold mines, so he's in a very sketchy position indeed. It's going to be able to put a bit of pressure on here. I'm not sure if it's going to be enough. Catapult halfway done now for TzK, so he's going to try and put pressure on, take down the tower, but as soon as he sees it, he's just going to run workers out, kill off the catapult, and TzK will be done here. Catapult out now for TzK. It's going to start second men behind this. Eventually get a bit of harass damage done on this house here, but not much. 3 barracks coming in though for Saadli. Gonna need to start producing units though. There we go. And tower actually going down in this rather extended all in here from TzK. Who's actually going to be able to put a fair amount of pressure on? Sadly, he's just going to work a full here. He should be able to get a lot of damage done. These soldiers are really going to hurt, but oh, does lose one to a catapult here. Can actually send a lot off the side. Bit of indecision there by Saadli. Does manage to get in the catapult. What he is not really focusing very well is his problem. He sent some's trying to deal with the catapult, some's trying to deal with the tower, some's trying to deal with soldiers, and it really got nothing done. He dropped down 6 workers, with half of that for TzK, and TzK is now in a great spot. This house is going to go down. 2 catapults coming in here on this barracks. TzK is just going to sit out here and do a lot of pressure. And with that massive worker loss there, sadly he's just not going to be able to produce the money he needs. And there we go, GG. Okay, looking to go quickly into game 2 here. Steps of War, actually. which is a map not too commonly played, but we'll see how it goes. Up on the top right here in the red, we've got TzK, who just took game 1 with a very nice proxy strat that went proxy barracks into proxy catapult into proxy tower, which did actually manage to take out Saadli quite soundly. He just didn't have an answer for it. And then sadly down here in the bottom left, one game away from dropping down to lower bracket. Looks to 6 expand. Yep, questionable expansion placement actually. I would expect to see it over on the right here, which is more efficient. So not sure what the reasoning for that is, but we'll see. And then house on the opposite side going down here for TzK. You can see relatively closed up. Relatively closed off natural expansion, but much wider. Relatively closed main expansion, but much wider natural chokes than a lot of other maps, even with the side route here for the third. So sadly, is sending off a scout. You will see that there's a barracks opening coming in here. TzK doesn't immediately see sadly 6 expand. Seeing no 6 expand, there we go, sees the barracks, sees the house, knows what he's up against, and sees the sort of timing he's up against. It's going to be difficult to hold this. I'm wondering if it's potentially going to be the same build again here from TzK. Things that worked so well last game, but I think part of that strat is just the surprise of the hidden expands, but we'll see. Does have a worker hiding out here. Need to see a response here from Saadli. Doesn't even have a house down at the moment, so it's going to be quite difficult to hold. Goes down the tower again. So we'll see how well this works. And there we go. There's the second barracks in from TzK. Proxied. Not sure if the proxy is necessary. It's a contained build, so I don't know that the extra sort of 5-10 second rush is really worth it, but we'll see. Sadly sending out a scout to check that it is the build he's expecting. He's gonna probably get pushed away here by the soldier, so see whether he decides to dive in or not. He really should. He needs to confirm what build he's up against. Soldier not actually on attack move, so sadly we'll go straight into the main. He's going to see no expand. He knows it's not one rax expand, so he knows there's got to be a second barrack somewhere. The gold has to go somewhere, and he's checking around for proxy now. This soldier's going to come in right as the tower completes. With a worker on it, the soldier's going to get basically nothing done. Gonna have to back out immediately. Can take only 2 shots, nice control. Ideally you only want to take the 1 shot off it, you can't avoid that. But and so I'm actually throwing down a workshop in the background here, so it's an interesting counter build that you saw last game. TzK just going for a 2 racks pressure. Not throwing down a workshop or a tower just yet. And suddenly, with this workshop, it's going to be able to actually pressure back and hide underneath this tower. So it's going to be quite difficult for TzK to pressure too much this game. We'll see how this works. But with 2 racks advantage, this thing's also very difficult for Saadli to actually push out. So it's going to look like it's going to be contained for quite a while. And we'll have to see how the engagement goes. Sadly poking up, probably just to see that the soldier's there. Yep, just confirms that they're out there, no tower up. So he knows he can just harass with this catapult and get some free damage off. TzK just trying to poke in, doesn't want to take any tower hits, but just want to see what's there. Sadly, he is starting to perform this wall off though. Get himself in a nice position where he can actually repair this tower as opposed to have it surrounded. Soldiers moving in here. Working in a really bad position, going to get surrounded immediately. Is going to manage to hold on. Looks like, yet tower for TzK immediately being thrown down. No catapults coming at him, sadly, just couldn't afford it with the fact that he bought this barracks. He is going to get loads